Hai semua, saya Putri Awani, host anda untuk webinar pada kali ini. Webinar Drypers Fit into Parenthood Masterclass pada hari ini. So hari ini kita punya topik sangat best, sangat special, iaitu bonding for a lifelong parent-child relationship. Dan hari ini saya tak keseorangan, kita ada Sebella Eng bersama kita. Terima kasih sebab sudi luangkan masa hari ini.
Thank you so much for having me here today.
Welcome. Dan Sebella merupakan co-founder Remind Psychology Center yang mempunyai kepakaran dalam bidang kesihatan mental, perkembangan kanak-kanak dan kekeluargaan. Jadi, berdasarkan topik kita pada hari ini, kita nak ulas lebih lanjut. Kita nak tanya Sebella, apakah makna di sebalik topik kita pada hari ini?
Alright, thank you so much for the introduction. Now, of course, with today's topic, it's actually touching on building relationships because it's one of the key to our well-being, especially in a fast-paced world. And that also includes building a bond with our child. Because you find that in a Harvard University study, it also shows that a loving parent-child relationship sets the foundation for our children's success. So needless to say, building a bond with our children is very important, which is why I'm going to introduce the ARQ, or to remember easier, the ARC framework, so that we're able to build this bond with our child.
So, apakah maksud ARQ tu?
So in the first part of the ARC or ARQ framework is A, and A stands for attunement. This is emotional attunement, where I'll let you in on a little secret. It's also one of the fastest or best ways to connect with another human being. And to give you an example is when we see someone, a loved one, your husband or your family, when they receive a good news, how do you usually celebrate with them?
Wow, happy.
Yeah. So we usually, we acknowledge, that good news, and we go, yes, wow, and so happy for you. We give them a hug. When, someone comes and tells us, that they're feeling sad, perhaps they may be crying. Sometimes we cry along with them. Yeah. So when we actually mirror or copy, how other people feel, neuroscience research actually also shows that it helps us to develop empathy. So the next key in the ARC framework is R, and that stands for repair. And that means repairing our relationship with our child, because there are moments in our parenting where we may regret, even though some of us may have all the necessary tools to regulate our emotions and, try to respond mindfully when we can, but we are still humans after all as parents, right? And there are moments where sometimes we will do things that we will regret, which is why it's just so important then to be able to apologize to your child when that happens. And when you're able to also admit that when you make a mistake and able to apologize, then, it also teaches your child that, we are still able to take ownership and responsibility for the things that we do and say. And ultimately that creates trust, and that trust is always the very basic foundation to a strong bond between parents and child. So the last key in the ARC framework stands for Q, which is quality time. And so this suggests that parents, in order to build a stronger bond with your child, it's very important to spend quality time with them. Now, quality time doesn't mean spending more time, doing more. More doesn't always equate to being better. But sometimes it's just spending uninterrupted time with your child that would actually create a bigger impact than doing more with your child. And it doesn't mean that you have to spend 1 hour to susun blocks or to mine ice, right? It can be short because, again, it's understanding our child's attention span, especially for babies and toddlers. It's very short. So even like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, just playing blocks or mine ice is actually going to go the distance in terms of building a bond with your child.
So hari ni kita dapat banyak info dan juga tips yang sangat-sangat berguna yang kita boleh praktikkan dekat rumah tau. Dan kalau korang nak tahu, kalau kita tak ada masa sangat kan, pakaikan lampin pada anak-anak pun merupakan quality time yang berguna untuk kita as a
That's
parents. Jadi dengan 6 absorb dry layers, kita sebagai parents tak perlu nak risau lagi sebab lampin anak akan kekal kering sehingga 10 jam. Jadi, apa tunggu lagi? Kena dapatkan Drypers lah macam baby puteri. Dan macam mana korang nak dapatkan? Korang hanya boleh dapatkan di Vindamall sebab kita ada special promo code untuk penonton pada hari ini. Korang boleh dapatkan Drypers Wiwi Dry menggunakan this promo code VMALLDWWD10 hanya di Vindamall. Kita dah di penghujung rancangan. Terima kasih banyak-banyak kepada Semela Eng sebab sudi luangkan masa dengan kita pada hari ini, dan pada penonton kita dekat rumah yang setia menanti kita punya webinar. Terima kasih banyak-banyak Puci ucapkan, dan kita jumpa lagi. Bye-bye.
Bye.